Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Kyra. Let's make some moon magic. This is the first video in a new ongoing series I'd like to bring to my channel that I hope you're gonna like, where I come and I sit and talk to you each month about the new moon and the full moon. I got the idea for this video because I personally have yet to find a practice shared on social media about the full moon and the new moon that I found really fit the bill for what I was looking for. A lot of it had some more generality to it, and because I work with cosmic magic, or because I work with astrology and I take astrology and I fit it to my life, I really want mine to be more specific. And I want to find a way to share with you the beauties of the specificity of astrology so that way you can hopefully expand and grow your moon work, or maybe you can find a way that it resonates better with you. An example is this new moon, which I'm going to get into more details about, is the Leo new moon. And oftentimes when people talk about the Leo new moon or Leo season, people talk about playfulness. People talk about inner child work. People talk about passion. They talk about things like that because those are Leo keywords. And for sometimes that just doesn't resonate. And that's because there's other parts of astrology where it gets more personal. Leo is the same keywords for everybody, but everybody has different things in Leo, and everybody's house of Leo is a different thing. So I want to bring some more of those layers in while keeping it attainable for anyone who wants to do this without being a professional astrologer. Before I get any further into this video, please note there are timestamps down below. So you can listen to the intro portion and the groundwork, and then you can skip ahead to your rising sign and listen to that. Each rising sign section is not going to be very long, but it's just a little snippet to get you going. And the groundwork will explain what we're going to do there. So let's get started. First, we are talking about a new moon here. And the new moon in my practice is about manifestation. It is about bringing new things. From the full moon onto the new moon, we are releasing the things we've been building and trying to manifest. We're releasing them out into the universe. And then the new moon hits, and it's time to take a look at a new area of our life and see what we want to manifest, see what goals we want to bring in. Because it's the moon that we're talking about here, in astrological terms, we're doing emotional work. We're doing intuitive work. Because those are things that in astrology, the moon governs. The moon governs our emotions. It governs our secrets to an extent, our dreams to an extent, because it's hidden, and because the moon is what lights up our night sky. So it's the hidden realms to an extent. It's very much our emotions. So every time a moon comes around, we're looking at emotional things. We're looking at things through the lens of emotions. The energy we're talking about is the energy of the moon. That's the emotions. And you don't have to work with a new moon on the specific new moon. This video is coming out on Wednesday, July 27th, which is the day before the new moon, give or take your time zone. And a lot of people stress out that if they miss the new moon, they've missed their chance. When actually there's a period of time, there's a window of time. So you take whatever day the moon is on, whether it's a full moon, new moon, to this month, the full moon is on the 28th. And then you add the day before and the day after. And that gives you a 3-day window to do any specific to this new moon work you want to do. Because you can, of course, work with the new moon anytime you like. But if you want to work like the energy of manifestation, you don't have to do it on the new moon. It is your practice. You can do whatever the fuck you like. If you want to work specifically with the new moon, it does not have to be on the exact day. There's a window that you can use. And even if you go outside that window, who cares? It's your practice. I like to stay within the window, and I find that the window makes me feel less pressured. So the window starts today. As you're seeing this video, the day it's released, Wednesday, July 27th, 2022. And that's the day before the new moon. The day of the new moon is tomorrow, Thursday, July 28th. And then the last day is Friday, July 29th. That is our 3-day window for this new moon in Leo. So what we do with astrology, and this is my analogy, I didn't get this from anyone. It came from my brain, although I can't guarantee no one else has thought it. We're looking at the planet, and the planet tells us what energy we're looking at. So the energy we're looking at here is the moon. Then we look at the sign, and that's how that energy manifests. And the energy, the sign we're looking at is Leo. So we're talking about emotions that are coming out in a Leo way. And then, and this is where we get a little bit more in depth than some of the things I've seen on social media. A lot of social media will talk about the Leo part a lot. And we'll talk about the emotional part. This next piece, though, we want to bring in the houses. And that is where the energy manifests. So we have the planet is the energy. We're talking about emotional energy. It's a Leo new moon. So we're talking about the emotional energy of things we want to manifest. We're talking about the Leo energy, that's how we want to manifest it. So perhaps playfully. And then we're talking about the houses, and we'll get into that more, I promise. And that's where we want to manifest it. I hope that helps lay the groundwork in a way that you understand. And let me know if you have any questions in the comments. So for the new moon, we're manifesting. We're setting intentions, setting goals. And because the new moon is in Leo, we're setting goals about Leo topics. And Leo topics include autonomy, dignity, passion. Leo is about sustained passion specifically because Leo is a fixed fire sign. It's like a big warm campfire. It will go and go and go and go as long as you keep nurturing it and feeding it. So these are emotions that will keep going, or that we want to keep going, but we have to nurture and feed them. It's sustained passion. It is playfulness. Leo also talks about will. The key words of Leo are I will. It has loyalty as a trait. It is all about the heart of things, because Leo governs our heart, right? And it physically too. So it's about being the heart of things. Where you might hear people describe Leo and say, Leo wants to be the center of attention, and they might say that in a degrading tone. We're not actually talking about that. It's that they want to understand the heart of things. They want to be at the heart of things. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Leo, when it comes down to it, is all about being seen. They want to be seen for who they are. They want to be seen for their loyalty. They want recognition. And so we're talking about today, I didn't go with playfulness because it's not all about playfulness for each person. Some people it will be about the playfulness, but it's not all about that. Just because there is something in Leo, it doesn't mean we're going to be playful. It might be. It doesn't have to be, though. So, the Leo new moon. We're looking at what emotions need to be recognized, because at the heart of Leo, it's about being recognized. It's about being seen, or at least that's how it feels to me. That's how it feels to me, and that's the part that's really sticking out to me right now. So that's what I'm going with. So what I've done is I've come up with a general 5-card tarot spread that anyone can use and pull cards for. It's based on the Leo new moon. But it also can be made more specific to you, which we're going to get into. So first, let me present that tarot spread to you. What I've decided to do for the spreads for this series is to keep them general, keyed into the Leo keywords, and done in such a way that you, with the following parts of this video, can look at your rising sign, hear what house that is for you, and from there you can personalize it for yourself just a little bit more. For this one, I've created a 5-card spread, which I'm going to lay out on this absolutely stunning Peggy bag altar cloth done by the wonderful Peggy Papez. Her shop is linked in the description box, and it is 5 cards. What needs to be seen? What is at the heart of this need? How will this unlock my playfulness or passion? How can I sustain this in the long term? And what is my first step? You do not have to spread the cards out and put them in this layout. You can put them in whatever configuration calls to you. The idea of this is simply to give you a starting point and to invite you into the potential and the possibility to customize your new moon work specifically to you. Because that's the beauty of astrology. That's the wonderful magic of the stars, is that we have everything we need with astrology to make it completely about us. So once again, those positions are: what do I need to be seen? What do we need recognized? What is at the heart of this need? How will this unlock my playfulness or passion? How can I sustain this in the long term? And what's my first step? And hopefully from there, you'll get some answers and you'll be able to set some intentions, some manifestation goals, whatever it is you like, based on this beautiful, beautiful Leo new moon. And because this is my first time doing this, please feel free to let me know if you try this spread, how it works for you. You can find me on social media. I've got all the links. You can check that out. But I'd love to hear feedback about how this layout worked for you if you decide to give it a try. So now let's go into the houses. So now that I've shown you the positions that you can work with to do some journaling, some tarot reading, some reflections for this Leo new moon, let's take it a step further. Let's bring it more into our individual person's reality, because those questions, anybody can read them. They're not always going to show up in the same place for everybody, though. Which brings us to the houses. And don't worry, I'm a professional astrologer, so I'll talk you through it, I promise. The houses are where the energy in our charts show up. So if we're talking about the emotional energy of the moon right now, and we're talking about like our hopes and dreams kind of thing, because the new moon tends to be about that, and we're talking about our hopes and dreams for our autonomy, for our dignity, for our loyalty, for our passion, for our playfulness. If we're talking about those, but where are we concerned about those? What area of our life are we concerned about those in? And that's where we get to the houses. So what I want to do now is I'm going to walk you through all the different 12 rising signs a person can be. And based on that, where this new moon energy could really be focused for them. All you need for this video is your rising sign. And we're going to start with our Leo risings. Our Leo risings have a Leo first house, and the first house is all about our identity. So we're looking at the autonomy and the way we are seen in the world, the way we want to be seen in the world. To apply this to our spread, you can simply insert it into the first question, or just look at the questions in the spread from the lens of your identity. So it might look like this. The first question, instead of saying what needs to be seen, what part of my identity needs to be seen? What part of my identity needs to be recognized? And then you're taking the lens of the first house and you're applying it to the spread I've already provided. And from there, you can explore this Leo new moon energy about your emotions through the lens of your first house. Hopefully it'll resonate a bit more with you that way. And from there, you can take that information and maybe decide on some practices or some spell work or ritual that you want to do, some manifestation that you want to happen around the things you've explored with this spread. Our Cancer Risings, like me, have a Leo second house, and the second house is all about our personal resources, both tangible and intangible. Those resources do not have to be material, though they can be. So we're talking about our energy, our time, and our money. We're talking about basically anything that it is that we personally value. It's all about us personally. So we can take that lens and we can apply it to the spread as we invited our Leo Risings to do in the last little bit. You can do that by inserting it right into the first question or by just looking at the positions of the spread as a whole through the lens of your resources. So you can ask yourself, what of my energy needs to be seen? What of my time needs to be seen? Is there, it turns the first question into kind of, is there something going on with your personal resources, your time, your energy, or your money that needs recognition, that needs acknowledgement? Because it's affecting you emotionally, because it's a new moon. The moon is always those emotions. So is there something in that realm of your personal resources, your personal values, and the things you value personally, that is affecting you emotionally, that needs acknowledgement? And through exploring it with the rest of the spread, what might you want to do for this new moon? The spread is about the exploration and looking at the emotional landscape. So that way you can decide, well, what's the action I want to take? Do I want to do a spell? Do I want to do a thing? Like, I'm going to be doing some money magic because that's a resource I want to focus on. And I am also going to be doing this reading as well. Our Gemini rising friends bring us to the third house, which is where Leo is in their chart. And the third house is all about our ideas, our communication, also to our siblings, just in case you find that kind of thing interesting. It's also about local things, like things around you that are close to you. So communication, ideas, short distance travel, local kinds of things. And just like the previous ones, we're taking this frame and we can apply it to the things we've already talked about. We can apply it to the spread of the Leo new moon reading that I've shown you. And we can do that by integrating it into the first question or by just looking at the whole of the questions through this lens. You could also integrate it into any question you want. It's up to you. I'm just saying. So the first question, what ideas need to be seen? What communication needs recognition? So it's the idea of, is there something you've been thinking about that you want to have some external recognition for now? Is there something you've been trying to communicate that just hasn't quite been recognized? To be seen is to be recognized. And so we're looking at it through the lens for you, our Gemini rising friends, of what do you need to be seen? Except it's what do you need to be seen in communication, in your ideas? What ideas do you need to be seen? What communication do you need to be seen or acknowledged? And then from there, after you've looked at this reading, you might decide that there's a working you want to do. That's the whole idea of this. We explore the emotional landscape, and then we decide, what work do I want to do to move this forward, to manifest whatever goals I feel are coming out of this. Next up, we have our Taurus Risings, who have a Leo 4th house. And the 4th house is the house of home, roots, and ancestry. And what we're doing through all of these is we're saying, can we integrate this topic into the first question, which sets the theme for the whole reading? Or can we just look at the whole reading through the lens of the house, in this case, home, roots, and ancestry? What that might look like is changing the first question to, what do I need in my home to be seen? What do I need to be seen in my home? What do I need to be recognized? Being seen is all about being recognized. And apologies if you're listening all the way through. Yes, there is a lot of repetition, but it's what we do, and that's okay. So, what do you need to see in your home? Or what do you need to be seen in your home? What about your roots needs to be seen? So this could even be like, this could even turn into a bit of a shadowy place of like, if you had some trouble with your home life growing up, which is a very 4th house topic. Your home life, especially as you grow up, is very 4th house as well. There could be something there from your past that needs to be seen and acknowledged. It could be something going on in your home currently that needs to be seen and acknowledged. The general idea is just, can you find a way to take the topic of home and roots and ancestry and apply it to this reading, to personalize it to you, so that way, hopefully, it will be just a little bit more resonant. And then from there, you get to decide after you've done the reading, do you want to take action? Like if I did this reading for the 4th house and I felt that what needed to be acknowledged in my house was how unhappy it was because of all the clutter, I might want to actually declutter. I might want to set some plans and some goals about building a house, a home that reflects me, etc., etc. Whatever floats your boat, really. Just as long as it's looking at the whole realm of home and roots and ancestry. Our Aries rising sign friends have a Leo 5th house. And the 5th house is all about joy and pleasure. It's also about children. And it's playful. The 5th house energy is where we can really get the inner child work. So if you're listening to this and you're an Aries rising sign, you might find that inner child work is exactly the kind of thing you're drawn to during Leo season, and that's totally okay. Right now, we're looking at our emotions with this Leo new moon. So what we're doing is we're taking the theme of the house, this 5th house of joy, pleasure, inner child work, childlike joy, and we're applying it. So it could be so simple as, what inner child needs to be seen? Meaning like, is there an inner child that is calling for you to work with it? It wants to be seen. It wants to be recognized. What joy wants to be seen? What pleasure wants to be seen? What do you need to see in order to reach joy? What do you need to see in order to reach pleasure? The whole idea is recognizing something so we can work on it. If we can't first recognize something, we can never work on it. So you're looking at those realms, joy, pleasure, and it's all things. It's grown-up joy, it's childlike joy, it's whatever it is that brings you joy, that makes you smile, that brings you pleasure. So maybe for you, it's a lot about having things that bring you joy that aren't getting attention. I don't know what the cards will say, but this is the lens I'm hoping you'll consider applying to the reading if you decide to give it a try, to get it more personalized to you specifically. And then from there, you can decide if you want to do any work with the knowledge you've gained through the tarot reading. Pisces Risings, you have a Leo 6th house, and the 6th house is all about day-to-day life and routines and our physical health. And we're taking those ideas and either we can integrate them into the questions or we can look at the whole of the reading through that lens. So the first question you might change and you might integrate in and ask, what of my physical health needs to be seen? So is there something of your physical health that needs recognition so it can be addressed? What in my day-to-day life needs to be recognized, needs to be seen? What in my routines needs to be seen? That's the kind of energy we're going for here. You can also like flip it and be like, what do I need to see about my physical health? What do I need to see about my day-to-day life? What do I need to see about my routines? And then once you've done this and applied this lens and explored the emotional landscape, you can choose and whether or not you feel the need to do any actual like magical workings, like you can do spells or rituals or what have you based on the energy and the answers you've gotten from this tarot reading. At least that's the idea. Okay, Aquarius Risings, it's your turn. And your Leo is your 7th house. And the 7th house is all about one-on-one relationships or partnerships. The distinguishing important factor here is that it's you and one other person. This does not have to be romantic or sexual in nature. It is any relationship between you and one other individual. So if you do have a spouse, your relationship with them. If you have a best friend, your relationship with them. If you have a business partner, your relationship with them. It's just about the you and one other person and how you relate, your relationship. One-on-one relationships. So we're taking this lens and seeing how can we apply it to personalize these questions further to hopefully find some more hidden gems of truth for us. And you can take the first question of what do I need to be seen, and you can say, what do I need to be seen in my relationships? What do I need in what do my relationships need to be seen? What relationship needs to be seen? Maybe there's a relationship that is needing some recognition. What do I need to see in my partnership? What do I need to see in my romantic relationship? Etc., etc. And then from there, you can explore further. Or you can just look at the whole reading through this lens of relationships, one-on-one relationships, and see what comes up. Feel free to rework any of these questions in any way you want to. And then I'm hoping that this will help inspire you to find some magical workings, if that's your if that tickles you, if you enjoy that you can do to move forward on these goals, to get to manifesting, to build them, whatever it is that you want to do. Hopefully the second step from this will be some inspired action. Okay, Capricorn Rising, it's your turn. And for you, Leo is the 8th house in your chart. And that is others' resources, both tangible and intangible. This is also the house that rules death, debt, taxes, and to an extent the occult. Although you can find occulty, different spiritual topics in a few different houses. So there's a lot here we can work with. And we can apply this in many ways. We can integrate it into the first question by asking ourselves what grief needs to be seen. If we want to go that death angle, or what rebirth needs to be acknowledged, because this being seen is about recognition, something being acknowledged so that way we can tend to it, because Leo energy needs to be tended to, as I spoke about in the beginning. You could also ask, you could also think about the lens of like what things about how others' resources are affecting you need to be recognized, or how you're affecting others' resources. What of those do you need to recognize? Do you have a debt that you owe that needs to be seen? are you owed something that needs to be seen? These are the kinds of ways we can frame that first question. What debt do I hold that needs to be seen? What am I owed that needs to be seen? That kind of thing. Or you could just look at the whole of the reading through this lens of the 8th house. Others' resources, both tangible and intangible. And please remember that these resources can be time, money, or energy. It doesn't just have to be finances. And then once you've done the reading, I invite you to consider the possibility of, are you inspired to do any kind of working, any kind of manifestation, anything to move you towards that space of setting intentions and manifesting here with this Leo new moon? Sagittarius Risings. For you, Leo is your 9th house. And the 9th house is the house of spirit and study, the house of long distance travel. It's also the house of like your personal philosophy, your personal gnosis. And that's gnosis spelled Gnosis. So it's all about your kind of worldview. So that's kind of the area we're exploring. And let's see if we can integrate it into these questions in some way. The first question is one of the easiest to integrate into. So you can ask yourself, instead of asking, what do I need to be seen? You can ask, what spirituality do I need to be seen? What do I need to see in my spirituality? You could do the same asking yourself about something along the lines of long distance travel, or what of your personal philosophy needs to be seen? What of your personal morals needs to be seen? Is there something you want to study that needs recognition? And for study, this is very, it's outside of the public education system kind of a thing. It's like further study, it would, strictly speaking, you could say like anything post-secondary education. It doesn't have to be paid for study. But it's not like traditional school systems kind of a thing. The important thing is, let's see if we can integrate the themes of this 9th house of spirit and study into these questions in some way, either by putting it some way in the first question or any of the questions that you can see fit. But the first question is built to be like the main point. And then the rest is just kind of exploring the first question. Or if you just do the reading looking through this lens of the spirit and study, that might be all you need to do to get your answers. And then from there, you can decide, do you feel called to do any manifestation work, any ritual, any magic, and anything like that? And you can actually get working with the new moon, if that's something that interests you, of course. All right, my Scorpio rising friends, you have a Leo 10th house, and the 10th house is the house of career, life's work, ambition, reputation, etc., etc., all kinds of related topics to those things. This one's a pretty easy one to apply. You can put it right in the first question. What of your reputation needs to be seen? Remembering the idea of the needing to be seen is we're looking for things that are affecting us emotionally, that need to be recognized, they need to be seen and acknowledged, so that way we can address them in some fashion. So, what of my reputation needs to be seen? What do I need to see about my reputation? What about my life's work needs to be seen? What do I need to see about my life's work? Some examples is like, if you've been having trouble delegating your work, that's the type of thing that could come up as having an emotional toll on you in a kind of reading like this. And if you can find a way to integrate it directly into one of the questions, I recommend the first question, then you can do this reading through the lens of looking at it, thinking about your life's work, thinking about your work, because those are the topics that Leo is in for you. So this moon is lighting up your 10th house in Leo. And then from there, you can determine for yourself any next steps you want to take. Do you want to do a spell or a ritual or something? Do you want to set strict boundaries for work? Whatever it is that comes up. I'm just hopeful that you'll consider, after you've done this reading, if you do, I hope you do, that you'll consider taking it a step further, taking it into the steps of action, so that way we can actually get some more manifestation going for us. Libra Risings, you have a Leo 11th house, and the 11th house is all about community. It's all about groups of people. So because we're looking at the moon, we're looking at like the emotional health of your community groups you're a part of. And because we want to explore this specifically, we want to see if we can apply it to the reading. You could apply it by just looking at this reading through that lens of the 11th house of your groups of people. So also groups of friends. Also, if you're a member of a polycule, the whole polycule would be considered here. Those kinds of things. It's also ideals and humanity and teams, you know. You can look at the whole reading through those lenses. Or you could look at that first question and you could personalize it by saying, what do I need to see about my community? What in my community needs to be seen? We're asking the questions of, is there something in these 11th house topics, whichever one resonates with you, that needs to be seen and needs to be acknowledged so that way it can be worked on? And then I'm hoping that some of us from this will feel inspired to actually start to do some of the work by, say, crafting a spell based on the results of our reading, or setting some goals. All of it centered on this reading we've done, the answers we got from the cards from our emotional exploration. Last, but definitely not least, we come to our Virgo Risings. And you have a Leo 12th house. And I gotta warn you, this is kind of a shadowy place. The 12th house is not easy. It houses such topics as mental health, seclusion, isolation, dreams, secrets, emotions. This is a very unseen place. And that seclusion and isolation, just remember, it doesn't have to be dark and shadowy. It's sometimes we like being alone, sometimes we don't. But those are the topics housed by the 12th house. This is also a place of like some of that psychic magic-y energy. And those are the topics that we can explore with this reading. The one that sticks out the most to me is the mental health one, because of the fact that we're looking at the moon and our emotions, and those are strongly connected to our mental health, one way or the other. So you might take that topic and put it in the first question. What do I need? What of my mental health do I need to be seen? What do I need to see about my mental health? You could also look at, is there a dream that needs to be seen? Is there a secret that needs to be seen? Is there an emotional thing that needs to be seen? You could look just straight at the emotions, because emotions are part of this. Or you could just keep in mind the part of the topics that I listed that might resonate with you, that sticks out in your mind. And when you're doing the tarot reading, just have those things in your mind, look at it through that lens, and that could give you some direction. And then I'm hoping at the end that you'll consider taking it a step further and doing something with the information you learn from this tarot reading, like crafting a spell or a ritual, or writing down some intentions, planning some goals, etc., etc. Now, just to end up the houses, I just want to remind you to keep in mind as you go through this that the houses is just about personalizing it. We are looking at our emotional landscape. The idea here of me making this video is inviting us to explore something, an emotional topic, based on the sign, Leo, and the house for each of us individually. And once we've explored that emotional topic, then we are empowered to move forward and choose to do something about it, if that is what we would like to do. And this goes very well with the Leo theme, especially because Leo is all about needing to be seen. And I said through a few of these to remember, we have to see the problem or see the issue or the obstacle. We have to see the thing in order to be able to work on the thing. We have to recognize it. And that's kind of the energy I built into this whole thing. And now I'm going to hand you back to the rest of this video. The thing with astrology is we can apply it to our everyday lives. And I personally have found it to be immensely helpful learning to work with astrology in this way. And it seems very overwhelming. And it seems from the outside looking in like you have to be very advanced with astrology in order to do this work. And that's not true. You just need some good resources in order to do it. And the key point going through all of this that you have to remember is we're talking about the realm of emotions. We are exploring our emotions about something. And that something that the emotions are about this time is playfulness. It's passion, it's loyalty, it's autonomy, it's dignity. We're exploring our emotions around those things, and we're exploring how they come up in a certain area of our life. And that's what I've just given you the run through of. And once we've done that exploration, then we get to go forward and weave some fucking magic. So for myself, I'll use me as an example. I am a Cancer rising sign, which means Leo is the second house in my chart. And the second house is the house of my resources, both tangible and intangible. And once again, those are time, energy, and money. We're talking emotions and the moon. Well, recently, one of my friends died. And this friend was like a big brother to me. So I am very emotionally determined to go and prioritize getting to California to say goodbye and to meet my friend. It was her husband who died. She's like a sister to me. I have strong emotions about needing to go to California. And in order to go to California, I need resources. So we've got the emotional part and we've got the resources. And I actually think that it would be very invigorating for me to go to California to see this friend. And I find myself saying, I will go to California. I will get there. Those are the key words of Leo. I will. So, since this is a new moon, all about manifesting and goals and intentions, I am going to be doing some classic money magic around my intention and my goal and my inevitability of going to California, because I will get there. I'm going. I just don't know when. So this month on the new moon, I'm going to be doing some money magic to manifest the thing that I need for my emotional wellness. I will be doing the spread that I've created and shared for you all, which once again is 1, what do I need to be seen? 2, what is at the heart of this need? 3, how will this unlock my playfulness or passion? 4, how can I sustain this in the long term or just sustain it in general? And 5, what is my first step? I am still going to do this. So the steps I've laid out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reading to explore the emotional landscape. And I'm going to frame it through the lens of my second house, because I'm a Cancer rising sign. And that's my resources. And then once I've explored it, I'm going to actually do the thing, because this is magic. It doesn't come out of nowhere, right? We're trying to manifest. You can't manifest something out of nothing. You have to put in the effort. At least that's what I believe. Not everyone would agree with me. This is about walking our talk. And by that I mean, like, if I could just sit there and say, I'm going to get $1,000 so I can go to California. But if I'm not actually putting my energy into it, if I'm not actually backing myself up, taking myself seriously and showing up and showing the universe that I am serious about it, I probably won't get what I'm trying to get. And the first step of that is actually doing the damned thing. So I can't just read the cards and manifest money. I got to do the working, and then I got to show up for my promises, because the idea is I'm telling the universe I'm here and I want to show up in this way so that way I can get this thing. And if I don't show up, the universe doesn't show up. So I'm going to show up. I'm going to walk my talk. I will be doing money magic for my second house Leo new moon, and to manifest to get my goal of going to California to say goodbye to a friend. Yeah. I hope you liked this video. Please do let me know in the comments down below how you felt about it, if I explained it okay, because this is my first video like this, and I want to know how you found the experience of it. So if you have any constructive feedback, I'd love to hear about it down below. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up to let me know if you liked it. Subscribe if you haven't already, and hit that bell notification so you can come on back. I've got a lot of really exciting things I'm working on, and I can't even describe. I'm just really happy. I'm just really happy with my work right now. So I hope you'll consider sticking around, because there's some really exciting stuff coming. In the description box, you can find my links to my Patreon. And once I've hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be opening that YouTube membership. You can also find the link to my website, which is on a major sale for an extended period of time now. So that way I can bust my ass and work real fucking hard. You can check out my services there. There's the link. There's also my email. So if you have any questions about my services or requests for videos, you can shoot me a message through email. Let me know. You can also comment with any questions or requests, etc. And yeah, I hope you liked this video. I hope it was enlightening, and I hope that moving forward we can work together to make the moons work for us, and to allow ourselves to put ourselves on the path so we can walk our talk. Because sometimes we just don't have the support to walk our talk. And that's what I want to do. I want to support, so that way everyone, including me, who watches my videos, are empowered to walk their talk. And so I will provide astrological information that you might find helpful. And I will see you again very, very, very soon. Go out and be the fool. Take the risk. Take the risk. Because we don't know when we'll run out of chances to take the risks. So go and be the fool, and know that my love goes with you as you travel. And I will see you again very, very soon. Lots of love. Bye.